Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would do a back to school video. It's going to be a college tips and advice, do's and don'ts type of video. Yeah, this is all from personal experience. I'm not perfect and I've made these mistakes myself, and that's why I feel like I can kind of give some advice. I'm going into my third year of school now, so I have lived away at school for a couple of years now, so I feel like I have some sort of idea of, you know, what to not do and what to do. So
let's get into the video.
So I wrote down a bunch of notes in a notebook. So I wrote a bunch of stuff down in this notebook, and I'm just going to be going through my list of things that I thought of to share with you guys. Yeah, so I'm going to expand on them and then just talk a little bit about why I picked that thing. Okay, so number one is don't feel pressured to do anything you don't want to do. I feel like this is easier said than done. You know, if a group of people are going to a party and you're just like, not about it tonight, like, okay, you're not about it tonight, like move on, like go out another night. If anyone's like pressuring you to do anything or forcing you to do anything that you don't want to do, report them, don't hang out with them. Doesn't matter what it is. Like, honestly, you don't need people like that in your life. Number two is don't get involved in conflict. At least try to avoid as much as possible. Obviously, if you're living in a dorm, it might be harder to do because, like me, I lived in a dorm with all girls. Girls can get a little catty, including myself. Like, this is no shade. Like, I feel like it's just really hard living with people. Like, in general, I feel like living with someone sounds better than it actually ends up being. So yeah, just try to avoid conflict as much as possible. If you can make yourself like scarce when conflict occurs, then that might honestly be the best. Like, there's obviously going to be misunderstandings. There's going to be conflict. Like, there's no way you can live with a group of people for 8 months without there being some sort of disagreement. Like, that's fine, like, obviously, but as long as you can like try to stay out of it and not be the root cause of it all, I feel like that's definitely like my number one tip. Like, I know it's number two, but it's my number one tip. Like, honestly, just if you see conflict is arising and someone's like trying to get you involved in it, just you know, don't become a part of it, because I made that mistake. Yeah, don't try to like involve yourself. And if you are causing the conflict, don't involve other people. Like, if you and your roommate aren't getting along, you and your roommate deal with it. Like, don't be like go around talking to other people. Again, I also made this mistake. Like, I'm not perfect, and I feel like that's definitely a big tip that I would give. Don't involve other people, because then like if you and your roommate make up, or if you and your roommate, you know, come to terms with something and you figure it out, like now like other people are involved and they see you as someone who would start stuff. They see you as someone who's seeking conflict because you went around telling people things. So you just kind of look like bad. Ew, I got one of those. I hate eating like the strawberries and like the strawberry acai refresher, but so number three would be to find a balance. A lot of the times people like go to school and they overwhelm themselves. It's school. They don't think like, man, like I need to take a break. I need like a second to just chill. I mean, school isn't always gonna allow for that. Like, maybe you can't take a break when you want to take a break, but the moment you get time to take a break, take a break. Take a shot every time I say break. Yeah, every time you get a chance to take a break, take one, because honestly, school will become overwhelming. School will be tough. It will burn you out if you don't give yourself that opportunity to just like chill, just rest, you know, not overwhelm yourself, because it's overwhelming as it is. Find a balance to, you know, watch a show you like, hang out with friends, go out, I don't know, go to dinner, go to the gym, It doesn't have to be 100% school. I know everyone makes it seem that way, and like for sure you're paying money to go there, so school should be important, but if anyone that's 100% school is going to burn out eventually. So my number 4 tip is to find time to exercise. I feel like that is super important and not said enough. Now, this doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be like some fitness guru or anything. Like, just literally go for walks. Like, if you can walk somewhere, walk somewhere. If you can like maybe go for a light jog, go for a light jog. If you're feeling stressed, like you guys don't realize how much exercise can help you out. Like, it releases feel-good hormones. It actually elevates mood. It improves sleep. Like, and I mean, you're lowering your chances of getting heart disease or type 2 diabetes. So really, it's like there's no cons against exercising, and it will really help relieve some of that anxiety, that stress that you get from school, that everyone gets from school. So I highly suggest exercising. Number 5, don't pressure anyone to do something they don't want to do. This kind of goes back to my first point, like, don't feel pressured, but also don't pressure other people. Like, if a friend doesn't want to go out because they have a test, like that should be it. Like, that's the end of the conversation. People are at school to do one main thing, and that's to get a degree, to get a career. So if you're impeding on someone's like life that way, just honestly, just don't do it. Like, and also this whole don't pressure someone into anything conversation also comes into like, more serious topics. So don't pressure anyone into anything, whether that's something stupid like want to come study and they're like no, to like no, we like, just don't do it. Tip number 6, I always look this way. Tip number 6 is to actually go to class and listen. This is actually super important and people don't realize it. Like, even myself, like, I will go to class sometimes and I'm just not there. So why are you going to class if you're not even going to class? Like, your mind is somewhere else. Like, constantly I'll see people on their computers, online shopping, texting, blah blah. Of course, like, I've texted before in class. Like, I'm not saying I'm an angel. I'm saying don't do it, because I feel like you're basically not there. Because if you're not focusing on what the professor is saying, then like, what's the point of even being there? You're not listening. Take notes. I mean, I know it's hard to sit there for 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever, however many hours your class is, and just listen to one guy talk about some boring but like, honestly, listen, because in the end, when you get to the end of the road, the end of the semester, and you got a 50% exam or, you know, a 20% exam, it doesn't matter.
I'm making the camera shake.
You're gonna regret not having just gone and listened. You were there. Like, the time is already gone. You cannot do anything else because you're already there. So just listen. But obviously go to class and listen. Of like going to the gym. A lot of people think like, oh, I went to the gym like this one time. Like, why am I not like super strong? Like, no, like, it's about like dedication and going and making sure you're doing the right things. That's the same thing with class. You can't just go to class one time and be like, why didn't I know all the stuff for the test? Well, my number 7 tip is don't skim readings. I skimmed readings. Don't do it. Skimming readings is not good enough. Not in college, not in university. Nope, it's not good enough. You're not going to learn anything. You need to take notes, like rewording what you read. Like, that's how you know you got it in your head. That's how you know. Tip number 8 is don't live with your best friend. I feel like a lot of people are like going to be like,
it's gonna be fine. Like,
I was like that. It's going to be fine. Like, I lived with a really good friend of mine, and I mean, she's a great person, like, nothing against her, but I feel like it ruins friendships. Like, I had a great friendship with this person, and living together destroyed that within like 3 months. So honestly, I really don't suggest living with your friend. Some people make it work, like, for sure. I've seen friendships like last throughout like living situations, but I just really don't suggest it. Like, if you can avoid it, I would. It's not easy living with anyone in general. It's hard living with another person, especially if you're in like a double dorm or a triple dorm, like where like the bed is literally in the same room. Like, you don't have like an apartment where you can kind of go away if there's conflict or if you're just not too into the person. But when you live in a dorm style room and like you have to see the person every single minute of the day, you don't realize how much that's actually going, like how much stress that puts on a friendship, how much like pressure and how much you need to see each other and know how to like deal with things. Like some people are capable of it, but others, like I didn't have siblings, so for me, like dealing with conflict is like I run away from it. So like if you don't think you have like the perfect skills to always talk about your problems and always just like first moment you feel upset, you know that you and the other person are really going to be able to communicate and figure it out, don't live with that person. Like if you treasure your friendship, honestly, just don't live with the person. Okay, sounds good. All right. My next tip, I honestly have no idea what number we're at, but I'll put it on the screen. My next tip is to not buy your textbooks until school starts. Wait, figure out what class really requires them. Like I've gone through classes without cracking open a textbook because they've been course heavy and they focus more on lectures and like seminars and labs and whatever, and not so much what's in the textbook. So it's really good just to go in your first day, figure out what the prof wants, figure out what he says. I mean, to be honest, most profs are gonna say like get the book anyways, but if you could save yourself a couple bucks, like my friend saved herself like $300 in like first year by not buying a book, and then like she literally aced the course. So really just you gotta kind of figure that out, and I wouldn't suggest like buying all your textbooks before you go to class and then being like, oh, I didn't need this one, because even if you resell it, it's still never gonna, like you can't really resell it for the same value. I mean, you can try, but I feel like it's harder to do, so why waste the money in the first place? My next tip is to deactivate, if you have a MacBook, deactivate iMessage on your laptop. It is way too hard to like not go on it, way too hard. So I ended up like just being like, hey, like I can't see that I got a text and not open it. Like maybe I'm just like crazy, and maybe this like everyone watching this is gonna be like, if you feel like you have the same problem, just deactivate iMessage on your laptop and just like use your phone to text. So then like it's easier to just be like, okay, class time, put phone in bag, put phone in whatever, and then just focus on class. You get me? You get one put down. Deactivate iMessage on your laptop. It'll be the best thing you ever did for your academic career. I promise you that. All right, well, that's all my tips for you guys. I hope whoever watches this gets something out of it. This is all from personal experience. I'm not like an expert on university, but I thought I would share some of my knowledge that I gained throughout the 2 years that I've been there so far. If you like this video, give it a like. Please subscribe to help me grow my channel. And I really hope you have a lovely day.